Travel consideration provided by...
It's on Poshmark?
It's here?
And it's half off.
Find the best deals today.
Yes, Poshmark.
I knew Poshmark would have it.
They're perfect. Find everything you want on Poshmark. Download the app to start shopping today.
It's a taste of fall, a day not to miss.
Werther's Original Limited Edition Harvest Caramels. Discover the original fall flavor.
I'm hanging out with Winona as she's getting ready for her new tour.
And it's an ET exclusive.
Oh, yeah, that looks like some fun. And we love us some Winona.
Yes. Before we go, though, it may be Halloween time at Disneyland, but soon it will be...
Holiday time! I'm a Christmas nerd, y'all. You know it, and it makes me so happy. It all starts November 10th. Go to Disneyland.com for more information and plan your next visit.
Is that your new holiday album?
Yes, I'll be walking through here saying, it's holiday time!
We're going to leave you now with our exclusive with someone who is known to take a Disney vacation or two, the one and only.
Happening now. Activity on the radar and storm chances rising. We'll take a close look at our future cast and the latest on our strong cold front to affect Halloween coming up.
The besieged director of the Alamo Area Council of Governments is out as of today. What the board of directors agreed to for the terms of her leaving.
And after 22 days without a leader in the House and a government shutdown looming, Republicans have finally chosen their next speaker. What the new leader has to say about aid for Ukraine and Israel. Next, the news at 5 starts right now. Yeah, and first at 5, the wait is almost over. The San Antonio Spurs are set to start the new season with this year's #1 draft pick on the roster. Victor Wembanyama is expected to make his official NBA debut tonight. This is the team's season opener against the Dallas Mavericks at the newly named Frost Bank Center. And that's where our Steve Spriester joins us now live. And Steve, you can certainly feel the excitement around tonight's game.
Well, I'm just excited to be here, as a matter of fact, Stephanie. Thank you very much for that toss. This is the hottest ticket in town. There is no doubt. As a matter of fact, Spurs officials told me moments ago that all they have left are standing room only tickets. This is officially a sellout tonight. And inside the Frost Bank Center, I know I'll probably call it the AT&T Center at some point tonight, they're giving away these free T-shirts from a local artist. I think we showed these to you earlier and met the artist. Look at that. A lot of excitement here inside the Frost Bank Center. San Antonio loves their Spurs. They also love their food and their local restaurants. And so the Spurs this year are trying to tap into that with something called the SA Experience. Here's the guy that's in charge of that and why they decided to do that this year.
I read every one of the guest feedbacks that we get after the event from post-event surveys that we do. And so I really hope that it reflects that in our surveys now, where fans have been telling us that they wanted us to get more local and reflect San Antonio. So I hope that they see that and we start to see those results in our surveys.
Yeah, they've got quite a group of chefs. They have Jason Dady, Johnny Hernandez, and Chef Terry that are putting together things specially for Spurs fans. They're calling it the Silver and Black Experience here inside Frost Bank Center. A lot of excitement. Not a lot of fans are here yet, but we're expecting that will change. The doors are going to open at 6:30. They're going to actually open kind of the back area, back off the Frost Bank Center here, where they have live bands and things like that. But inside, you can feel the excitement, not only among the people who are coming here, but the people who work here. I mean, this is opening night for so many people, whether they're running the culinary experiences that you find throughout. We've got the DJ Quake, who is off to my right. He's got the opening night jitters. There is a lot happening here at the Frost Bank Center, and we've got it all for you. We'll see you back here at 6. Live from the Frost Bank Center, Steve Spriester, KSAT 12 News.
Steve Spriester right there with the best seat in town. And if you're not excited enough, we're going all out for tonight's season opener at 6:30. We have a pregame special. We're going to be live from the Frost Bank Center as Spurs fans make their way to the game. You can catch the fan excitement right here on KSAT, KSAT.com, and of course on our app, KSAT Plus. All right. Now we're going to send things on over to Adam Caskey.
Yeah, we've got some shower activity out there. Thunderstorms as well. Nothing severe, but there is the off chance we could see a strong storm, especially west of I-35 this evening. You look a little closer to San Antonio, Medina County into Bandera County. We have some downpours. brief in nature, but it's good to see something in drought-stricken South and Central Texas. These are all pushing northward. And again, they're pretty brief. Some of them, though, are following each other, doing what we call training. See how they're forming in these broken lines, and then the showers move over the same spots? That could add up to a few inches of rain in some parts of the hill country, 2 to 4 inches possible just overnight on into tomorrow morning as a result of that training. I mean, you look at the streaks so far of the rainfall, and already just over the past 12 hours within some of those streaks, we've seen over 2 inches indicated by this yellow color there in Edwards County and Valverde County. As we go through the evening hours, our rain chances do rise here in San Antonio. I do think we'll see some of those showers and storms passing through periodically this evening, kind of tapering off a little tonight. Mainly it's going to stay over the hill country. And then tomorrow morning, for the morning commute, I expect them to flare up again. So rain chances rising again, and I think they'll be very likely for a damp and wet morning commute with some downpours. More on the rain, and of course, our another chance of rain, which is looking good, and the strong cold front causing it, what it means for Halloween temperatures in just a bit.
Adam, thank you. Now new at 5, the besieged head of the Alamo Area Council of Governments is out amid allegations that she created a hostile work environment. AACOG's board of directors voted to accept Executive Director Diane Rath's retirement request today. Now, though Garrett Berger tells us the organization, though, is still keeping quiet on the specifics.
The ending of the story, at least, is clear and definite.
Motion carries unanimously.
But the chapters leading up to Diane Rath's exit from ACOG remain fuzzy.
The public to understand that we've been working on this problem for some time. And we've had extensive discussions back and forth with Ms. Rath and her attorney.
Rath will be paid through the end of the year and be paid for her unused vacation days. There's also an expectation there'll be a mutual waiver of claims, essentially an agreement that neither side will sue the other one.
The board chair told other board members earlier this month he'd put Rath on paid leave over an investigation into certain allegations and grievances. Though ACOG would not confirm the specifics, KSAT obtained an anonymous letter purportedly from employees claiming Rath resorted to name-calling, vulgar language, and relentless negative criticism. Half a dozen former employees added their own experiences at today's board meeting.
Other directors who were not targeted for termination were ridiculed, harassed, bullied, demoted into submission or resignation.
It's not clear where the internal investigation ended up. Rath's replacement and ACOG's former general counsel said he couldn't comment on personnel matters.
You said you can't say whether or not that investigation ever finished or not.
I said it's put to bed now.
In a statement to KSAT through social media, Rath said in part that she was proud of what the ACOG team had accomplished during her time, and, quote, "There are always some disgruntled employees, but I am pleased with the board's decision and action. I wish ACOG continued success in the future." Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Right now, San Antonio police are looking for the person who killed a father as he was trying to break up a fight involving his daughter. That shooting happened last night around 9 o'clock. SAPD investigators tell us that a group of teens showed up at 54-year-old Gabriel Campos Gonzalez's home in the 200 block of Moraima off of Castroville Road. They say that a fight broke out between his daughter and another girl. Police say that Gonzalez got in between the girls, and that's when someone pulled out a gun and started shooting. Gonzalez was hit several times. He died at the hospital. And although the shooter ran off, investigators say that they got that person on camera. So they're hoping that the video that they're sifting through right now helps them find that shooter. New at 5, we now know just how much the General Land Office paid to acquire the Moses Roses hideout barn near the Alamo. At the beginning of August, we reported that the state of Texas and the owner of Moses Roses hideout, Vince Cantu, had finally reached a deal, but the sale price wasn't made public until just recently, and that price is $6.75 million. Took a little more than 3 weeks, 3 previous nominees and 3 secret ballots, but House Republicans finally have a new speaker, and that person is Representative Mike Johnson of Louisiana. ABC's M. Nguyen explains what happens from here.
Today, Representative Mike Johnson of Louisiana winning the Speaker's gavel after emerging last night from a crowded field to become the 4th Republican Speaker nominee in 3 weeks. The bitterly divided Republican Party trying to project unity, scrambling cameras inside their closed-door meeting last night, where Johnson won the nomination after 3 rounds of secret ballots.
This conference that you see, this House Republican majority, is united.
Johnson, a constitutional lawyer and Trump loyalist, was asked by our Rachel Scott whether he still stands by his vote to overturn the 2020 election results.
Mr. Johnson, you helped lead the efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Will you
Next question.
Johnson was defeated earlier Tuesday to Majority Whip Tom Emmer, who dropped his speaker's bid after just 4 hours, following a social media post from former President Donald Trump, who said voting for the number 3 Republican would be a mistake. Trump posted again, this time to congratulate Johnson, but said he wouldn't endorse anyone. It has been 22 days without a speaker, and it's only 23 days until a potential government shutdown. No legislation has passed, including President Biden's $100 billion request to supply aid to Israel and Ukraine, an issue Johnson also didn't want to address.
you support additional aid to Ukraine? You've asked your question.
You asked your question. Go away.
We're not doing policy tonight. Any other questions?
As Republicans celebrate their new leader, the Democratic National Committee is calling Johnson the most extreme Speaker of the House in U.S. history. Em Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
All right, now we're going to give you a live look at the traffic situation outside, and it's a doozy. Right now, that's Loop 410 at Blanco Road. You see there on the side of that road, I mean, I don't know if that's the access road or an off-ramp, but traffic is pretty slow, down to a crawl. Yeah, that's 410 at Blanco Road right now. The other side looks absolutely fine, but just keep that in mind if you're heading outside. Now, straight ahead, a leaf blower can help you keep your yard the envy of the neighborhood. We're going to show you the different brands and models, and also how you can pick the best one that's going to work out for you.
Originally called Mary's Gold, the marigold is named after the Virgin Mary. But in Mexico, it's called cempasúchil, the flower of the dead. Placed on graves and used to decorate altars during the Day of the Dead, it's believed the flower's vibrant colors and strong scent can lure souls back to the living. Since they bloom in early summer and die at fall's first frost, they also symbolize the fragility of life. The name cempasúchil is Aztec and roughly translated to flower of many petals. For the Aztecs, the flower was sacred, and its bright color represented the sun. Native to the Americas, it was cultivated for decorative, magical, medicinal, and agricultural purposes. They were thought to cure hiccups and were often planted near crops. As a matter of fact, the marigold produces a natural insecticide. Once Spanish explorers discovered the hardy plant, they took the seeds back to Europe. Now hundreds of varieties grow across the globe, including India, where the marigold has become an important ceremonial flower. For Hindus, the marigold symbolizes surrender to the divine.
I'm Myra Arthur, and here's what's ahead on the news at 6 o'clock today. A San Antonio man who admits to killing a woman 2 years ago, sentenced to 40 years in prison today. Francisco Javier Garcia Ventura took a plea deal. Coming up, you'll hear from the victim's family and from the killer. Plus, Toyota opened its plant in San Antonio 20 years ago. Can you believe that? But it's not just the company celebrating this anniversary. At 6 o'clock, we talk about the massive growth the plant helped spur on the city's south side. All that and more today on the news at 6.
Myra, thank you. So right here at KSAT, we're all about making things easier for you. Now, remember the last time you picked up a leaf blower? Probably hurt your back, right? Well, now 12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz shows us which leaf blowers are going to keep you from reaching for the Bengay the day after.
When it comes to fall cleanup, Alex Joyce has a system. It includes 4 different leaf blowers.
3 acres, lots of trees, lots of leaves. Fall is challenging.
Maybe your yard is easier, but if you're ready to ditch the rake.
In our testing, we routinely find that a handheld leaf blower is perfect for most yards. It's a step up from a rake, but it's not as big or bulky or as expensive as backpack or wheeled blowers.
Consumer Reports put leaf blowers to the test, timing the cleanup and checking to see how well they get the wet stuff stuck in the grass.
Beyond performance, you want to consider the weight of any handheld leaf blower. The heaviest models in our ratings can weigh nearly twice as much as the lightest models, and that can make a big difference even after just a few minutes.
For tiny lawns or patios, they found this Ryobi corded electric may be all you need. But a cord has its limits. A battery-powered blower can cover more ground. They recommend this Ego model for sweeping away the leaves. And they found this Skill is a smart buy, holding its own against blowers that cost twice as much. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
All right, now enough of that. Enough about work. Let's have some fun here. This weekend is the annual Muertos Fest. Final preparations are underway to make this year's event memorable for the entire family. So Saturday and Sunday are 2 days of remembrance and celebration. Now, if you can't make it to Hemisphere Park, you can watch all the action right here on KSAT 12, November 1st at 8 p.m. Now, for everything else related to this year's Muertos Fest and other events and celebrations around San Antonio, scan that QR code right there that you see on your screen. All right, we're taking a live look outside right now, 87 degrees. And Adam, I still want to hear more about this cold front that's coming.
That's what it's all about. We're looking ahead to the cold front. Timing still looks like Sunday evening for that cold front. And it's the kind of front that when it hits, you feel it. I often say it's the kind that slaps you in the face because you'll notice it right away. Sunday evening around sunset, give or take. Promising rain chances between now and then and along with that front. And get ready for a chilly Halloween. We've been warning you. We want to keep reiterating the fact you'll want your warm costume option. Take a look at our high temperature trend. We'll be in the 80s, low to mid 80s the next few days. That includes Sunday. So even though the front arrives later on Sunday, we're not going to really feel it until Sunday night, and especially when we wake up on Monday. Now, look what happens on Monday. We get an afternoon high of 48 degrees. We're in the upper 40s both Monday and Tuesday, of course, Tuesday being Halloween. So we'll really feel that chill. We'll take a look at the morning temperatures in a moment, but I want to talk about how we still have the mild air in place, 70s and 80s with some rain across the state. But that cold air starting to drop in to the lower 48 now. Parts of Montana in the teens. Why not? Why not? For reasons a reason, 29 degrees. I used to live up in North Dakota. That was a joke we'd always say. Anyway. 29 in Minot shows you how cold that air is that's plunging southward, and the Canadian temperatures in the core of the cold air in the 20s. So that cold air continuing to push south ever so slowly in the coming days. Again, Sunday during the day, it's still going to be warm. We'll be well into the 80s, but Sunday night is when that transition quickly takes place. So for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, basically all next week, we're going to feel the effects. Choose the warmest option for your costume on Halloween. Long sleeves, sweatshirts, jackets, if you can incorporate them. We'll be in the 40s during trick-or-treating time, and even a little bit of a breeze left over as possible. As for rain, right now it's too early to tell if we could still have some active rain at trick-or-treating time. There is the slight chance. We give it a 30% chance at the moment. And look at that morning temperature trend. Mild mornings in the low 70s tomorrow through Sunday. By Monday, we're in the 40s. Tuesday, we're in the 40s all day long. Wednesday, we could even see some morning low temperatures in the upper 30s around San Antonio. Crazy to think, huh? But that's the strongest cold front we've seen yet. In terms of the rain, right now we have some of these showers that are streaky in nature. You see a few in Atascosa County pushing northward, especially Medina and Bandera County just moved through Tarpley. A nice little splash and dash downpour is what we're seeing with a little bit of lightning and thunder. Now this one right here in the city of Medina, that's headed toward Kerrville and I-10. That should make it to I-10 in the Kerrville area at 6:05 p.m. is when we're anticipating that. Here's the big picture. The showers have been oriented in these broken lines north-south all week, and we're going to start to actually get in on some of that elongated energy in the atmosphere later tonight, and especially first thing tomorrow morning. All this energy out in advance of that big dip, that big trough in the upper level flow. So tonight our rain chances rise again. First thing in the morning they'll be at 70% and then dropping in the afternoon. Friday at 40%. Doesn't look like much Saturday and Sunday at 20%. And then Sunday night into Monday, we're back up to 60%. So think tonight, tomorrow morning for the best opportunities for rain and the most widespread rain. And then again Sunday night through Monday. Start the day tomorrow in the 70s. By the afternoon, we're in the 80s. Get ready for that Halloween chill. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll talk more about just how much more rain we could see over the next 7 days.
Okay, thank you, Adam. All right, let's go back to the Spurs. The countdown is on for the official start of the Spurs Wemby era. The silver and black is about 3 hours from the start of the regular season. Larry is joining us now live from the Frost Bank Center. Larry, take it away.
Yeah, so you know what? Some 4 months after the Spurs drafted Victor Wembanyama first overall in the NBA draft, we will now get to see him play his first regular season game for the Silver and Black. Coming up, we're going to break it down for you. Mary Rominger was at Spurs shoot-around this morning, and Luka Doncic is talking about Wemby's game coming up right after the break. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome live to the Frost Bank Center, where it is opening night for the San Antonio Spurs. In a little over 3 hours, they will tip off with the Dallas Mavericks. So a Southwest rivalry right out of the gate to get us going. It should be exciting, and it's a much hype one as well, because tonight will mark the regular season debut for Victor Wembanyama, and that has Spurs fans excited. On top of that, this game could also be the regular season debut for the Spurs monster starting five of Wemby, Collins, Sohan, Vassell, and Johnson. Now, at last check, Zach Collins was listed as questionable with an injury, illness, non-COVID. He was at shoot-around this morning, though, as was KSAT 12 Sports' Mary Rominger, and she has more.
Yes, seeing the Spurs after their morning shoot-around, excitement is at an all-time high for these young players. Mostly excited to show the world their improved defense and, well, Wemby's game-breaking abilities.
I think I'm most excited for tonight of any season I've been a part of so far.
Everybody excited. The energy in here is crazy. We're ready to get this thing going.
And there's a lot of things he does that is kind of crazy for sure. We've never really seen it in the game of basketball. So it kind of, I think, amazes all of us.
Defensively, I think that we've been doing a great job. I mean, with our length and being disruptive and just making it uncomfortable for other teams. I think we got to do a better job still of just rebounding and getting down in transition. But defensively, I mean, I feel like we've been doing a pretty good job, but we're only going to get better.
All right, well, neither Dallas or San Antonio made the postseason last year, but there's no doubt expectations are different for both teams this time around. From the Spurs practice facility, Mary Rominger, KSAT 12 Sports.
All right, thank you very much, Mary. So the Dallas Mavericks come to town with some questions of their own in regards to All-Star Luka Doncic. Now, Luka's been dealing with a strained calf, but he appears to be in line to play tonight. He practiced this week, and he took part in Mavericks morning shoot-around right here at the Frost Bank Center. Luka did not talk today, but he did yesterday up in Dallas, and he was asked about Wemby's game.
It's 7-4. 7-4, that's the one. No, the thing he does for that length, it's unbelievable. The way he moves, the way he handles the ball, shoots the ball, and obviously the block. So I've been watching, and he's an amazing player.
Yes, he is. Spurs will host the Mavs tonight at 8:30, and Dallas is currently favored by 4 points. We'll have more Spurs Mavs coming up at 6, and then 6:30 with our tip-off plus. Let's send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Larry, so excited for that. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Biggest takeaway, best rain chances. Most of the rain will be falling tonight through the morning commute tomorrow, and we'll even see some scattered activity Friday, and then again Sunday night into Monday with the cold front. Speaking of cold front, woo-wee, we're going from the 80s for highs down into the upper 40s.
All right.
By early next week.
We'll see you at 6.